Yo, what's up, world? This is Corey.
I'm Natalie.
Blake.
This is Joe.
And we are Doctrine of Ethos from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're basically a female-fronted prog metal band. I know we all have a lot of influences. Me, myself, I grew up in a musical home, especially my dad. I mean, he's just such an amazing musician and singer, and I was just blessed to grow up under his wing. And, you know, I grew up in church and with harmonies and all sorts of things with my dad and brother. So basically he got me into it, and then from there, just, you know, being in different bands and just falling in love with being in a band in general. And I love Muse, that's my favorite band, so I would say that maybe Evanescence for me is kind of more of an influence musically in what I do.
So who's your influence?
I have a lot, but you know, obviously, family. A lot of my family is musical. My grandmother used to play organ, and I would sit and listen, or just she let me play around on the organ, make all sorts of crazy sounds. You know, my father got me my first upright bass when I played in school. My mom was really supportive of all that. So all of my family was very supportive of the music thing. As far as musicians, everyone from Jaco Pastorius as a bass player. I can't talk about that, not like Jaco Pastorius, but Ryan Martini from Mudvayne was when I first saw him play. It changed my whole perception of what metal bass playing consisted of. It wasn't just root notes; it was, you know, very melodic. You know, lately I've been really getting into a lot of the metal stuff like Periphery and Protest the Hero and that kind of style, that gent style. I'm really enjoying that. But that's some influences. Blake.
Well, like both of them, I grew up in a musical family. I don't remember not being able to play music. My earliest memories are playing instruments, and then turned into a rebellious teenager and started listening to metal and Metallica, and Kirk Hammett was a huge influence on what a guitar player could do, and then Dream Theater and John Petrucci I could shred and play really fast, and not just play fast. Play music and play melodies, but just do it really fast. Became a huge influence on me and my style.
I think my biggest influence was my mom. You know, my family, I don't come from a musical family, like these other kids. But my mom was very hardworking. You know, my entire life she worked, you know, 3-4 jobs the entire time I was growing up, so I saw a lot of hard work, and she was always very positive about me pursuing music for a career, actually. As far as musicians out there that influence me, Danny Carey from Tool, he's always been on my playlist. So, you know, Tool's been a big influence. A lot of the 90s rock drummers is pretty much where a lot of my style came from. And then, you know, new guys like Thomas Lang, you know, who are kind of new pioneers in the percussion and drum world. So I look up to those guys for what, you know, they're making, you know, musical history, especially with percussion and, you know, changing the way we look at drums and things like that. So that's my influence on my mom and those guys. So
overall in America, how do you feel the music scene has changed, and where do you see it headed?
Well, unfortunately, everything's digital. So, you know, music careers are hard because there's no such thing as record sales and album sales, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean, I think even to further that too, the cool thing, you know, growing up in the 90s and Napster came out, and I remember when all that was going around. The cool thing is people have such readily, they're accessible to music so quickly that it does help a lot of independent artists get recognized without having to have a major label behind them. But the sacrifice is people aren't buying records like they used to. You definitely have to work a lot harder. No one's going to give it to you. Been a band for 5 years and no one's handed us a thing. You know, we work for everything we've had. Besides the music industry, in music in general, like he's saying about digital distribution, music has gone digital. You know, what kids are listening to, auto-tune is becoming a regular for them. They don't know what Etta James sounds like, what Aretha Franklin sounds like, what, you know, all the great Berry Gordy records and Motown sound, with these phenomenal singers, or even in the 70s, 60s and 70s with all the great rock singers, the Led Zeppelins, and everyone knows who the Beatles are, but that's not what kids are listening to as much anymore. I think there's becoming a throwback, but you know, even in the metal scene, in the gent style and the newer metal stuff, a lot of electronic music is making its way into that, which can be really cool. But there's of course people that are not keen to that. So I mean,
Yeah, I do like, one thing I do like is how there are more girl-fronted rock bands. That's kind of becoming more popular now. You know, because girls relate to that. Because sometimes, you know, certain bands, it's more guy fan-driven. But it's kind of cool to have, like us, for instance, I have a more melodic voice behind more technical, you know, rock music, harder music. So I do like that part of it. But yeah, the digital thing, it is tough, especially, you know, you hear people sing live now and you're just like, ooh, you know,
Exactly.
it's kind of hard. So I respect people who can sing live.
Upside to digital world though is we do have more one-on-one contact with your fan base now.
Yep.
Because of
True,
the
yeah.
Twitters and the social media, you can actually get, you know, somebody's input on first-hand basis. You know, which is really nice because we all take that into account whenever we're writing our music and things like that. Because we don't just want to write music just for ourselves, but for the influence of other people as well.
and there's I think there's a balance there. I mean, there's a balance between the old school and the new school and those worlds meeting. I mean, Blake, you were into you were talking about Kirk Hammett and Metallica, and that Metallica was one of the biggest ones against the digital scene.
Yeah.
Huge against Napster.
Yeah.
But I bet you if we go on Google Play right now, you can find a Metallica record. So it's like I don't know. What are your thoughts?
The industry's changing a lot, but the bands that figure out the good sides to it are going to be at the ground floor of some awesome things. When you can reach out to your fans so intimately with Twitter and put anything you want so easily that your fans can get their hands on it. We had such trouble. We wanted to get our music in our fans' hands so bad, and now put it on YouTube.
Yeah,
There
we're
it
able
is.
to
The
do
whole
that.
world can hear it.
What was the inspiration for the song The Demon?
The Demon basically is our oldest song, and the long short of it is everyone has demons in their lives, and it's that overcoming from those demons, not letting them keep you back and hold you back. And if you listen to the track, the music represents that to a T. It's very dark, and then you move into the bridge, and it's just overcoming, and it becomes this major sound, bright and happy. And then at the end, you kind of get this mix of that. The demon's still there, it never really goes away, but it's just learning how to deal with it.
What has it been like being signed to Turkey Vulture Records?
Being signed to Turkey Vulture Records has been a blessing. We found those guys. They're the first guys who really gave us a chance, which is really nice because that's something we were searching for a long time. Just somebody, a place to call home, and they put us in contact with Anger Management, our management company, and it's just, they're pointing us in the right direction, which is really nice.
What is the name of the new album coming out and when?
The name of the new album is Time Is Near, and actually we finished that, was it
We finished it a year ago.
a year ago, yeah. So it's
Year
been
ago.
out now, but we have 8 songs on there, and it's a really great album. We recorded with Jamie King out of Winston-Salem, and he recorded with Between the Buried and Me and all sorts of amazing bands. So definitely check us out. We're on iTunes, Amazon, all the digital world, and obviously physical copies.
What would you like to say to the fans about Unity and Independence Tour?
We're really excited to be a part of it. Seems like a good group of bands. Things are kind of getting off the ground and running, and so we're really excited to start playing some shows with some awesome musicians and just bringing that brotherhood of music together in the rock community.
You know, it's good because a lot of the bands are from Myrtle Beach or have been Myrtle Beach based, so we all get to kind of hit the road together and just show the world what we have, man. Myrtle Beach has a great music scene, and people don't get to see it because, unfortunately, we don't have a big rock and metal scene here, so it's going to be an opportunity for us to show the world what we have.
And we just want to say a big shout out to our fans and just thank you guys for being a part of this project. We've been together now for about 5 years, and without you guys, none of this would have been possible. So we look forward to jumping on the road with these guys and hopefully come to a town near you and play some awesome music. So, Doctrine of Ethos, thank you very much.
Thank you.